What's up, YouTube? We're back with another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? This week, we're back with another episode of spicy sports betting, and it's UFC 260 tonight. It's kind of a big one. The event did suffer a fight loss last week, which really kind of was a big blow to the event. It could have been a much bigger event tonight had the co-main stayed in place, but unfortunately, stupid things that are going on in the world have cost us another fight, and that's just normal these days, unfortunately, and, well, whatever. It sucks. But the main event tonight, it's going to be a good one. It's one that I've been looking forward to for a while, and I think one that maybe a lot of people are misreading and getting overhyped on. So, I guess we'll see how it goes. But before we get into that, just wanted to address the last fight that I picked. It ended in a no contest. Now, Pierre was protesting in the comments that I still should have done punishment. The only reason I didn't is because that fight was a no contest. If someone was declared a winner, then I would have had to do the punishment. But I won't do punishments if there's a draw, and I won't do punishments for no contest because no contest technically doesn't count. So that's why I didn't do it. Strange to have two fights end like that in 2 weeks, you know. One with a blatant illegal shot, one with a bad eye poke, you know, it sucks. You know, what are you going to do? But it is what it is. And another thing that happened since then, this is a good one, so, you know, we'll just touch on this briefly because it doesn't really matter. But the champ got removed from any UK Nuke Chili Heads. I got removed from the group. They're a bit of a pretentious bunch of douchebags over there. And apparently, you know, doing sports betting with chili punishments isn't chili pepper enough for them. And they've been removing my posts for probably about 3 months. I know they've been doing it. I started noticing they were doing it back around November, December. I noticed that, you know, I'd post something and I'd check for it later and it was gone. And, you know, to be fair, they said I didn't post there much, and that's probably true. I randomly see stuff on Facebook. I don't spend my life on Facebook. So, you know, when I do log on, I just scroll through, and whatever comes up, I reply to or like or comment or whatever. So maybe I thought I was posting in the group more than I thought I actually ended up doing, and, you know, that's probably on me. But I wasn't there just to abuse the group to post my video links. You know, I thought I was participating, and, you know, it was my bad for not being a little more active. But still, they were being dickheads by removing everything that I posted, and I did catch on to that. So a couple weeks ago, I noticed that they had a form to apply to be a poster there because, you know, the promise your links were clean and everything. I thought, okay, this is why they're removing my links, so I filled it out. And they told me I was approved, and I thought, okay, great. Things move on. And next thing you know, they're removing posts again. The other day, I'm actually about to comment on a post from my, I can't remember who posted something, but I saw that Greg from Fire the Hole said something, and I was going to reply into something he said. And as I was doing it, it said I couldn't reply to the post anymore. And then all of a sudden I realized I had been removed from the group. And they accused me of not posting chili pepper related videos. Don't understand that. I talk about the UFC, yes, I do UFC picks, but the UFC picks are something that I do to roll the dice on doing a chili pepper punishment. It's not my fault that I'm right more than I'm wrong. It's not my fault that I know the sport well enough to make good picks. It's not my fault that I'm trying to do something different and I'm not participating in the circle jerk, you know, oh, look at us, you know, do our crazy stunts. You know, just because I don't participate in that doesn't mean I'm not doing something that's part of the community. So, screw those guys. They can suck on my nuts. And I hope that every one of you that's in the group unsubscribes from that group and unsubscribes from the YouTube pages for the champ. Because what they did to me was wrong. And that's BS. This stuff is, you know, chili peppers are mostly what I do here. I do garden updates. I show you guys growing tips. Sometimes I do things that are completely not related, but I don't post that stuff there. So screw them. They're a bunch of losers. All right, so UFC 260 is tonight. The main event is Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou, and it's a rematch from a couple years in the making now. And you know, I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? I like Francis. I think he's a big, strong, impressive heavyweight. And, of course, when you have a guy built like him in a division like the heavyweight division, he has a shot any fight if he lands a heavy shot. It's a given. That's and in a division like the heavyweights, it's more of a given. You can be less talented in the heavyweight division. You could be less of a wrestler. You could be less of a jiu-jitsu artist. You could be a lot less of many things if you have any kind of striking ability whatsoever. Because at that weight, anything can happen if contact happens. And that's why that division is interesting. And that's why you don't see guys that hold on to the title as long as Stipe has. Because typically anything can happen, and usually it does. So there's that to consider when you talk about Francis Ngannou. And he went into the first fight with Stipe with that on his side. And no one knew how he would do. Everybody thought if he made contact, the fight would be over. And I agree with that. You know, if a good clean shot from him could be the end. In that fight, he did get Stipe into trouble, but Stipe weathered the storm and then started to fight intelligently. And what he did was wrestled in Francis, and he held him against the cage, and he made him work hard. And when Francis started to get tired, then he started to put him into really awkward positions and make him work even harder. You know, he'd wrestle him against the cage and then have him half bent over with all his weight hanging off his hips, plus of all Miocic's weight on him, while he's landing little punches and beating him up. And it doesn't matter what kind of shape you're in. When you're 250 pounds, 240 pounds, that's a lot of weight to be holding when you're bent over. Just, you know, bent over. But when you add in the fact that a guy that also weighs that is pushing on you all the time and you're resisting that, that sapped him of his energy. And Stipe basically used his strength against him. He used his size against him. He was a one-dimensional fighter in that fight that came with one plan, but put him away with these. And it didn't work. Stipe was able to avoid the shot. He took a couple shots to begin with, got a taste, didn't like it. He made the adjustments. He started to fight him against the cage. He wore him down using his size against him to suck his gas out, and that's how he won. Now, since then, Francis fought Black Beast, Derek Lewis. It was a disgraceful fight. People thought that would be a fireworks fight from both guys. Derek Lewis came in with a bum back, so he could barely walk. And Francis was afraid to engage, so nothing happened, and he lost that fight. And then, yes, he did go back onto a 4-fight win streak, knocking everybody out rapidly. But he knocked out guys that were done. You know, like Junior Dos Santos. I mean, no offense to him, he was a great guy in his younger day. But when he fought Francis Ngannou, he was already done for many years. And he was a fight or two away from being removed from the UFC because he can't win anymore. And a few of his other opponents that he beat were in a similar situation. But people are now using that to hype him as a guy that's killing everybody and is going to kill Stipe. And for some reason, people are falling for it. I see a lot of experts picking it for Francis. I see a lot of the pro fighters picking it for him. I hear Miocic Tate talking about it. You hear it on the radio. You know, yes, if he makes contact, if he fights smarter and is more economical with his power and punches and can carry that through 5 rounds, yeah, he's going to be dangerous the whole fight and he can win if he lands the right punches. Absolutely. But the thing that I keep questioning is that all the fights he's fought since Stipe, he hasn't been put into a situation where he's had to wrestle or where he's had to fight adversity or where he's had to dig deep and hang on and find a way to win when he's been, you know, in trouble for a long time. And he's been off the hook for all those fights. And the one fight he lost, he fought terribly. And he was off the hook on that fight when Black Beast showed up with a bum back. So my problem with Francis is I don't see anything that shows he was challenged at any point to show any of these improvements that he's going to need for tonight. Because I think Stipe is going to come at him the same way. He's not going to let him just punch him in the face. He's not going to he's not going to get goaded into a striking war with a guy that's much bigger and much more stronger. Not while the guy's dangerous. Maybe later in the fight. Maybe after he saps some energy out of him and he knows he can't hurt him. Not to start. So I think Stipe is going to come out and he's going to have an intelligent game plan. He's going to avoid the big shot. I think he's going to control the fight. I think he's going to either bring it down to the ground if he wants to or hold it against the cage again. I think that he'll use that to an advantage and he'll grind out a decision victory or possibly a mid to late TKO or submission, because he'll wear him down and have him in trouble. But I don't see Francis Ngannou winning unless he lands a big strike and it's a lucky one. And I'm going to bet quarter dropper of this. I'm just going to show you what that is, because I'm doing this against Greg from Fire in the Hole. Greg, this is what we're doing. That looks like almost a third, but let's say around there. Okay? That would be what we do. About a quarter dropper. He's going to do his own tincture. I'm going to do a quarter dropper death shot. So I'm picking Stipe Miocic. And Greg over at Fire in the Hole is taking Francis, because he said he'd take whoever I'm not taking. So we're going to find out tonight who's wrong. So at least if I win, you guys can always go over to his channel and watch him suffer. Sounds like fun. At least then you can't complain when I'm always right. All right. Well, that's it for this week. Tune in to the UFC 260 tonight, see how it goes. And maybe we'll be back with punishment next week. Maybe you'll be watching Greg do a punishment. You'll be watching me do a review. I keep talking about a review. I have to do an Instant Pot review. I want to do a second review on the Technivorm coffee maker that I bought. I want to do my 6-month review on that, because now that I've had it for a while, I want to tell you guys what I think. I need to do a 2-year or so review on my bed, I think. I should give some thoughts on that now that I've had it for 2+ years. So I think down the line that'll happen too. And maybe at even some point I may do these videos as a Sunday video or something midweek. Because I do want to do these videos, and I can't keep putting them off for sporting events forever. Because I do like doing the spicy sports bets. I think it gives an opportunity to give punishment at least. Anyways, what do you guys think about that? And what do you think about the fights? Tell me. I forgot to show you guys my garden. Let's go downstairs to the garden room. Got too excited to get out of here. Let's see what happened with the garden. I'll show you how things have changed, and then we'll take off. All right, we're down in the grow room now, and as you can see, since the last update, some things have changed. And yes, I have a fan blowing on them, so if it sounds a little loud, I apologize. It's important to have a fan, like I said in the last update, because it strengthens the plant for outdoor conditions when they're going to start seeing winds and gusts and all sorts of things that happen with the air. So it helps strengthen the stalk of the plant and all the leaves and everything, so they don't fall off. So yeah, you can see a lot of things have changed here. So the top left 4 plants, those are the Trinidad Viper crossed with the purple boot. That's these ones here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the middle 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the back there. Those are the ghost pepper. And as you can see, they're all getting nice and big. And the good thing about this is because everything germinated so close together in time, with almost like within a 2-week period, and everything broke ground within 2 weeks from germination, which is crazy. They're all pretty much equal-sized plants. There's one stunted one in the front there, and there's one of the Trinidad Vipers a little smaller than the rest. These ones here, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the back corner. Those are actually the 1, 2, and 3. Those are vipers, or sorry, reapers. And the one in the front here is a reaper. The one in the middle here on the right side is a leviathan, as are the 2 here. And you've got the Moruga scorpion here, the chocolate Moruga scorpions right here. And then this plant here is the chocolate Butla scorpion. So that's all the plants. Oh, and the front 2 here on this side, whoops, the front 2 here, these are going to be yellow Moruga scorpions, which you may or may not have seen. I ate one of those a couple years ago when I had a fresh pepper given to me by Herberry Farms. So yeah, that's the state of my garden right now. You can see it's a fairly equal grow because everything broke ground roughly around the same time. Some of the plants are larger than others. All are doing great. Some have some weird mutations on the leaves. I believe that's from the purple lights. I think it's just something that happens from LEDs. Like I said in other videos, if that happens to you, don't worry about it. The new growth looks different, looks good. That's all you need to worry about. Weird stuff happens, but you know, as long as they're green and growing healthy, when they go outside, they'll correct themselves. So that's my garden for now. We'll update you in a couple weeks. I'm sure in a couple weeks they're going to get much bigger, and probably I'm going to have to start picking buds off. So when that happens, I'll give you another look at the garden, and I'll explain why it's important to do that. All right, well, there you have it. Subscribe. Check out last week's double punishment. Actually, 2 weeks ago. And check out this video here. We'll see you next week with either punishment or something else. Thanks for tuning in. Screw the new chili heads.